going on, guys? Welcome back. A little bit of a problem with this maple syrup process. I just bought a new sap collection barrel, which is this reddish orange one there. Has a crack in the bottom of it. When I bought it, I checked it over and I saw a bunch of little scrapes, but I didn't think there'd be enough to leak, and unfortunately they do. So I'll show you the leak real quick. Alright, so that's the drip we have. That's enough, so that would drain quite a bit of sap. So that's what we look like. When I was checking out the barrel, I gave it a pretty good look, but I don't know how I missed these. They just look like scrapes from the angle I was at. But let's see if we can plastic weld them, because there's no sense of putting all that sap in just for it to drain out. So I'm going to see if we can plastic weld it. And what I plan on doing is plastic welding that. I have a plastic welder that I got from Harbor Freight, so I'm hoping that'll weld down fine. Kind of came at the wrong time, so we need to get our sap collected like right now. I don't have time to go around and find another barrel, so hoping I can get this thing plastic welded. And to be honest with you guys, there's a few steps I'm probably not going to be taking. I should brace this from the bottom so this doesn't sag in when I heat it, but I'm hoping I don't have to heat it up enough. I'm hoping I can heat it enough where I can just kind of melt it all together with this. So I'm hoping I don't have to heat this up too much to the point it sags. So I'm going to heat this area up real quick with the heat gun. I'm not going to brace it from the underside just because I really don't have time to figure out how to get in there and do that. So what I'm going to do is just heat up with the heat gun, then hit it with this plastic welder. And I'm hoping I'll just be able to shave all this down and seal that hole off. And I may do a few other burrs around here, but we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try to clean off a little bit of that dirt. What I'm going to do is just kind of slowly heat this plastic up so it gets the water off, but it also should prep the plastic. And unfortunately, it's probably 35 degrees today, so the outside temp is kind of working against me a little bit. All right, now we're going to get the plastic welder. All right, actually that's starting to smear down. See how that's smearing down? That actually looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just slowly work at these smaller ones, and then I'll go over to the one that's actually leaking. These are just I'm just kind of doing like a few practice ones here. Alright, I'm thinking this may actually work. I'm getting a few of these smaller scuffs that aren't actually structural damage, and it looks like it's flattening them out pretty good. So got my fingers crossed that this is going to work. Alright, I'm going to try these ones. I'm going to try these ones right here. These ones are just little scuffs, but again, just kind of a practice one. All right, I think we're in business. I think this is going to work. All right, what I'm going to do is just kind of change directions, just to pull some of that plastic in different directions. All right, so remember them couple little ridges are completely gone. Do have to go pretty slow with this. It's so cold out today that the temperature is unfortunately not in my favor. I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing, but the wind is definitely not in my favor. I could bring this inside, but this is working. I'm going to just keep going out here. Trying to flatten this out a little. Alright, I'm going to try this smaller one. this one. And what I'm doing, I'm just being super cautious. I'm not letting this sit in any place too long, so I don't want to actually settle into the plastic. Alright, that one is buffed out good. We're going to try the corner of this top one here. Alright, please work. These are the ones that are actually leaking. And this big one, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I should try to get some other plastic in it, like from a bucket, even though it's probably not the same grade. Well, what I'm going to do, actually, see this little ridge right here? I'm going to try to shave some of that ridge off, and I'll try to get it up in that crack, because it's a big one. So I'm going to try to shave some of that off, and I'll just transfer that up in there. That's what I'm hoping anyway. It should work. I should be able to do that. Alright, shouldn't need much. I'm going to see if I can get some of this plastic going together. I'm going to try to melt that down into that crevice the best I can. It's real rigid plastic, so I can't manipulate it that well. What I'm trying to do is just push this plastic up into the angle where that cut was. So far so good. This is actually looking pretty good. Happy with the way this is looking so far. Just trying to get this a little cleaner looking. Trying to get that nice and smooth. I like how we're looking so far. That was just some plastic that was on the edge of this this plastic welder. You certainly have to take your time with this. This isn't something you can rush. I want to get this as smooth as I can. You could probably be here all day, you know, getting this flat, but I'm just trying my best to make sure there's not any cracks that are just under the repaired surface. Alright, I think we're in business. I'm going to let that firm up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just get some of these smaller ones. These ones weren't leaking, but I'm just going to flatten these out. It won't hurt. It won't hurt to just get these a little flatter. See, like that one's fine, but this one weren't leaking, but it was a good little cut there, so we'll try to get that one too. So this is another decent one. It's not actually leaking, but that's actually a pretty big gouge. So let's see if we can flatten this one down. Should be able to just press and hold on this one. Yeah, that one laid down pretty good. at these couple. They're not leaking, but we got the welder out. Might as well hit them. So what I've learned is there's kind of a happy medium. You gotta go slow, but you gotta go fast enough so the welder don't sink into the plastic. Alright guys, I think that came out pretty good. This was the main area here. You can barely tell that there was some work done. These were just some long scratches that I did, some of these shiny things here. This shiny one here with some bad scratches. Alright, that should be fine. Them look good. I think we're going to test it. I'm going to put some water in it. I'm going to flip this upside down. And we're going to see how that weld held. Alright guys, we're about 10 minutes. And so far that weld is holding. You may see a little drip here, but I traced it up and it's coming from when we had it tipped upside down. This was the main leak right here, and so far 10 minutes in, that hasn't leaked a drop. So I'm hoping we got it. I'm gonna leave it for another hour or so just to make sure, but I'm thinking we should be golden. So fingers crossed guys that holds. This was just kind of an on-the-spot fix because I'm actually heading out right now to collect sap, so I got my fingers crossed that that's gonna hold. But that plastic welder is definitely a great tool to have on hand. But I certainly didn't intend this to be a how-to video on that plastic welder. This is the first time I've used one. I actually picked that up a couple months ago. I just saw it and figured it'd be a handy tool, and this problem arose, you know, kind of at a wrong time. So, but I'm super impressed with that thing. It worked pretty good. I tried the heat gun initially, but found out I didn't actually need it. Just using the plastic welder itself worked fine. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it. That's the first fix I've done. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But we're going to sign off for this one, guys, and we'll see you soon.